Hey, we finally have an interchangeable Peter Parker head where he looks like a hot daddy. Hello, nurse.
I'm in love with a hero. I'm in love with the one who will...
Hello, Spider-Man fans, or more appropriately, Spider-Man Marvel Legends series. I have the Captain Universe Spider-Man. Thank you so much, Michael, for getting me this guy. It's part of the Vulture Build-A-Figure series. With incredible strength, stamina, and cosmic senses, Spider-Man battles tirelessly on the side of universal justice. There are many different versions of Spider-Man that have come out from the Marvel Legends / Classics toy line, and I'm glad that they had the cosmic-powered version of it. The Captain Universe entity is kind of similar to what the Phoenix Force is, where it goes and inhabits certain hosts here and there. I'd be really curious to see the Captain Universe Force meet up with the Phoenix entity in some storyline in the future. Anyways, well, that's enough about that. Let's go and open this guy up. And here we are. He comes with one of the wings from the Vulture from Spider-Man Homecoming. But I'm just going to put this to the side because I'm not going to collect the rest of these pieces, and I'll probably just put this in a bag. He also comes with two alternate heads. The first head is just a miscellaneous Captain Universe face. You can see it's all star, glittery, and cosmically powered. The second head is Peter Parker from the Spider-Verse storyline. If you haven't read that storyline, I do recommend it. I think it was really well done. I loved all of the alternate versions of Spider-Man all kind of teaming together, and the Captain Universe version of Spider-Man was sort of like their Superman character. The head he comes packaged with is a Spider-Man that shows just a little bit of his original costume, so you know that this is supposed to be Peter Parker underneath there. To change the heads out, it's not too difficult to get one of the heads off. Then you gotta have to finagle just a little bit to get the next head back on, and then bam, bada bing. Being that he is cosmically powered, he is much more powerful than a standard Spider-Man. For the most part, his body is just a standard white, but the top portion here, you can see all the cosmos being put on him. Look at that ass. The joints on this guy are pretty darn strong. It takes a bit of effort to move him about. I don't really follow a lot of the different Marvel Legends series, but I have read online that some people's paint sculpts have been chipped off. But from what I can see, his is pretty darn good, and I don't see any issues with it. I personally like the joints in his legs, although I do know some people really aren't a fan of this type of articulation. Showing Ben Reilly's Scarlet Spider, you can tell that it is very similar in the joints. However, the other Scarlet Spider, which happens to be Kane, you can see that this is a different type of joint. I am a fan that Hasbro made this Spider-Man have much more standard body size in comparison to many of the other Marvel Legends, where if you compare it to some of the other Spider-Man figures, he's much more smaller, or at least much more sleek, which does make sense, being that this guy, again, is cosmically powered and he should be stronger and bigger. And being that he is a Marvel Legend figure, he has tons of articulation. Let's go through that real quick. He has movement in his head, upper arm movement, bicep movement, double jointed elbow movement, wrist movement, mid-body movement, waist movement, upper leg movement, thigh movement, double jointed knee movement, calf movement, and ankle movement. Both ways. This is a beautiful figure. I mean, I love him all around. I'm kind of debating on which way I'm going to display him, whether it's going to be with a Peter Parker head or whether it's going to be the Spider-Man's Captain Universe head. If you ever read the storyline in the main Marvel Universe, it has Spider-Man, where he is the host for the Captain Universe power. I think it is a very interesting read. I like the fact that he takes on the Hulk, he takes on Doom, Titania, and eventually, like, a Tri-Sentinel, which is kind of a weird final villain for him to take on, but still, I did think the story overall was good. There's a what-if story where the Captain Universe power never left Spider-Man. It was a really fun read. He took on a bunch of different villains, including Venom. Although, in fighting Venom, he really didn't do too much to him. He just flew him out into space, and Venom just cried uncle to him. Here's an ending shot of some of the other Spider-Man figures that I have. This isn't all of them by a long shot. I actually have about 10 others I couldn't find. But still, this is a good representation of some of the different Spider-Man in the other alternate universes. I think this guy is really cool. Michael, thank you so much for getting me this guy. He is going to make an excellent addition to my Spider-Man collection. If you're interested in getting this guy, he's available in many different stores. He's probably not going to be found too frequently now, but you can still get him in third-party vendors like Amazon or eBay or some other stores out there, maybe Big Bad Toy Store. But with that, thank you guys for joining me in this video. I will join you guys in another one very soon. Check out my Patreon site, my social media sites, my websites, and everything else out there. Peace, love, namaste, and I'll see you guys later. Peace. I'd be really curious to see the Phoenix Force take on Captain Universe. I'm pretty sure Phoenix can take him, but still I think the battle would be really epic.